The following program is sponsored by The Greek, Ely's Radio Shack dealer at 570 Altman in downtown Ely, and brought to you as a public service by Georgetown Media in Ely, Nevada. White Pine County Commission meeting, September 22nd, 2021.
Jeffrey from the guy that handles the Albert Center, he replied today and I let him know.
Cross-reference, and he has confirmed that he's
Shane, how you guys doing?
Good, Richard, how are you today? Thank you.
Good morning and welcome to the regular scheduled White Pine County Commission meeting on the 22nd of September. Would you all please stand and join us in the pledge? And Lori, go ahead.
All right, thank you very much. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this moment, we'll take the first moment for silence, prayer, meditation, whatever you like. So we'll do that for the first moment of the day. Okay, we'll go into the regular scheduled meeting. The first item on the agenda is public comment. Is there any public comment on the phone today, Mike? Seeing none, anyone in the audience?
Lori Romero, County Library Senior Center. I just wanted to give you a little handout of what the library's got going on with some programming for the next several months, in case you know somebody might be interested in some of these workshops. They're free of charge, and it's part of our commitment with some of the COVID funds that we have been awarded. And so if you can help us promote those programs, besides what we do in our own. And then I just wanted to let you know that at the Senior Center, our new supervisor will be starting next Monday. So we're very excited about that. And right now we're averaging 50 in-house. They are so happy to be back in. So.
Thank you, Lori.
Thank you.
Anyone else in the audience? George?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I attended the Regional Planning Commission meeting September 15, 2021, and heard a young couple present a concern about the building inspector, Brad. Brad forced them to sign a document that they would put in curb and gutter at their new address on Stevens Avenue. If they didn't sign the document, Brad stated he would not give them a certificate of occupancy, which in turn would have affected their loan and possibly costing them thousands of dollars more with financing. Held them up. The house was there on the ground. He's not done that with anyone else. Those extra there exists, a terrible double standard, and it needs to stop. With your inspector Brad, he made that young couple, build their foundation higher than anyone else in that area. In Central Ely, on Stevens, go over on Ogden, the last project. Go up and down the street on Stevens. The modular homes that were put in there years ago. The selective enforcement's got to stop, Mr. Chairman. There are numerous others on that block that I've stated that did not meet the same criteria in regards to the foundation height, curb and gutter requirements, selective issuing of certificate of occupancy. Then across the street from the aggrieved young couple on Stevens, new curb and gutter was installed in front of an existing older home with some of the curb being 6 inches below the street. 6 inches below the street. Who inspected that? Who shot the grade? Why do you even have these regulations if you're not gonna follow through? On Avenue D, the RTC constructed a chip seal project that should have been done under general improvement district. There is no curb gutter, nor is there any proper ADA access. I've showed that to you before. People parking on the sidewalk. What about the occupancy permit there? Did Brad stop that? Your double standard needs to stop, Mr. Chairman. On your agenda 4H regarding options for building official services, you need to get rid of that loser. He's creating a liability for the county. Silver Lion Farms has put you on notice what he's done to them. I've brought numerous issues to you also, and it needs to stop. You need to hire somebody who knows what they're doing and is friendly to the growth of this community. He's killing us on all levels. Mr. Chairman, on your agenda item 2A1, you're regarding regarding the different for discussion, the commission needs to be a bit more, needs to take a bit more conservative approach for the COVID-19 issues. COVID precautions and guidelines are set by recommendations based on science. The county's failure to comply with minimum standards may affect you with federal programs and funding. Why do you even bother hiring a public health official if we're not going to listen to them? Do any of the present commissioners have the credentials? I don't think so. You can speak in a moment, Henry. I'm almost done. Thank you. Is the county going to meet the agenda item 4B regarding the approval of the U.S. Department of Treasury Coronavirus State Fiscal Recovery Award terms and conditions for receiving the American Rescue Plan Act funding? When you're not gonna comply with that? Why do you bother having it on the agenda?
Thank you, George.
Last item.
Now,
Time's up.
Oh, you guys are mean today.
You can have a speak at the end of,
I want some answers, Mr. Chairman. I don't want you passing the buck anymore.
okay, before we get into, Lori's here and she's got something to go to, so let's go to page 4, item 2A, Lori Romero, Library Director, discussion for possible action and approval to accept the 2021 LSTA 8RP Act in the amount of $20,000 to purchase a wireless access point and 13 laptops with no required match.
Thank you. Once again, this is part of the American Recovery Act program from the federal government, and we were awarded $20,000. Once again, it has to be used for equipment, so we are going to use it for a wireless access point to extend our signal outside the building, and for 13 laptops. Once again, our demand is growing on use of the laptops with classes, as what I just passed out to you as part of our commitment with other federal funding. We have opened the 3rd study room in the hall, and the last 2 days we have had all 3 rooms booked and using laptops for different things, jobs, interviews, you name it, college students. So this equipment's really coming in handy because part of the laptops we have right now are about 11 years old, so it's time to replace some. We did get, I think, 4 new ones here a couple years ago, but the majority are still ancient.
Any questions of anybody on the commission or the board? If not, I'll look for a motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Ian,
Second.
second by Travis. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? Pass unanimous. Thank you. Okay, now we'll go to our 9:05 timed item, page 2. It's an update from BCT. Item 1 is discussion update only. Quarterly report on information technology from Business Continuity Technologies, BCT. Earl's not here, but Melvin Chapman Jr.
Yes, sir.
Just by the way, Earl is actually in the Zoom meeting and listening if you have any questions.
Okay.
Hi, Earl.
I don't know if you can speak or not. Good morning, commissioners.
Morning.
Morning, public, sheriff. Before we start, I just want to let everybody know, as of about July, Lester Kaiser retired. He's officially retired from BCT. So Earl Kaiser is the CEO and president. I'm the chief operating officer. Everything's gonna continue as is. If you guys would like a copy of the letter, because he did write a letter, I can send you all a copy. So let me know once we're done, if you would like a copy, and I'll get you, everybody a copy of that. Okay, so this is for the second quarter. So the date does say August 11th on there, but this covers the second quarter, so ignore the date at the bottom. Next slide, please. What have we been up to? Next slide. So for the second quarter, we closed approximately 145 tickets, spanning over 298 man-hours. The temporary library, again, this is for the second quarter. I know a lot of this stuff is already done, but it's just an update. The temporary library public internet has been installed. The T1 connectivity at the old courthouse, that's been resolved. T1 between the admin building, EOC, sheriff's office, and road department has been resolved. And as we go through our day-to-day, we are keeping system softwares updated. And in regards to Exchange, your email server, there are periods where we have to do emergency updates because there's a lot of bad actors out now, and they're busy. They're hard at work, and it's a cat and mouse game. So fortunately, we get alerted pretty much immediately when something happens as far as breaches and things to patch. So we are up to date there. IBM server technology, we're still reviewing that. Cross-training has been done between Manny and Mike. They spent quite a bit of time together doing one-on-one training.
And it's still ongoing with the daily work.
Continued vendor management support, we've been working tirelessly with Aspen, Pioneer, Geoverse/WestNet. So the project is in full force. We're finally at I would say we can see the light at the end of the tunnel in regards to the project. So lots of vendors involved, but we're on top of it all. Incident response plan is still being reviewed. It's completed, and that's something we're gonna look at after the project is complete, because the incident response plan in itself is a whole project. So, next slide. And just so you guys know, an incident response plan is basically, if something happens, what do we do? And it's pretty much a checklist on what we do. Next slide. Go ahead, Manny.
Okay. Here we have statistics from our servers and the equipment as to viruses, intrusions, and everything is all in the green. We're seeing here the total threats that have been received during the quarters is 1,600, but they've all been blocked. It's clean and in the green. Right now, we're seeing that everything that we have programmed for backups are good and being transmitted and testing well. So this is from the firewall itself, where we're all secured and nothing has been red flagged for any kind of security threats. And here's just your normal activity as from our firewall and everything. The firewall has indicated a couple of threats, but then everything's been blocked. Nothing that we need further attention during that time.
Just real fast, while we're on that topic of security, how many of you guys use Facebook? Just anybody? Social media? So the problem with Facebook is they ask those silly questions. They say your rock star name is your middle name and the city you were born. Don't answer those, because those are security questions for stuff that you might need to log into. So people are socially engineering people to try to get their information.